Before this day rises fully, I declare over you that this is not just another morning. This is a divine interruption, a holy summons from heaven calling your spirit into alignment with God's purpose. As we journey through Psalm 120, may every hidden cry of your heart ascend before God. May every warfare around your destiny break open, and may the voice of the Lord pull you out of every place that has limited your assignment. There is a supernatural stirring happening right now, a prophetic awakening drawing you into the path ordained for you before time began. Don't rush past this moment. Lean in, listen deeply, and let God speak to you personally. And as He touches you, share in the comments how this word meets your spirit today. This morning, as you rise to seek God, hear the Spirit of the Lord calling you into a deeper place, into the very path where your purpose is clarified, your destiny is awakened, and your steps are reordered by His wisdom. Psalm 120 is not just a scripture today, it is a prophecy over your life, a cry that heaven has already answered, pulling you out of every environment, voice, and atmosphere that fights your assignment. As you enter this prayer, may God open your ears to hear what He is saying specifically to you. May He stir old dreams back to life, and may He release the courage to walk boldly into what He has ordained for you. And as He begins to touch you, I invite you to share in the comments what you sense in your spirit, what God is revealing, what shifts inside you, and how this word is aligning with your journey. In Psalm 120, God is not merely observing your pain, He is stepping into the hidden chambers of your heart where your deepest cries were buried, the ones you never had the language, the courage, or the strength to express. He is speaking to the places where you felt unseen, unheard, and unprotected. The moments you walked through fires no one else acknowledged. The seasons where you survived battles others never knew you were fighting. This is the morning where heaven leans in, the veil lifts, and God Himself responds, not with vague comfort, but with precise surgical direction that realigns your destiny. This is not just a soothing moment, it is a divine rearrangement. God is pulling you out of cycles that drained you, environments that muted your voice, relationships that suffocated your purpose, and emotional climates that kept you hostage to what He never intended for your future. He is separating you from invisible cords, ancestral patterns, and spiritual atmospheres that try to rewrite your story without His permission. You are not just being delivered from something, you are being delivered into something. Heaven is repositioning you step by step into His ordained pathway, a path that existed for you before you were ever born, a path your spirit has longed for even in seasons when your mind did not understand the longing. In this moment, God is awakening a new awareness, stirring your discernment, sharpening your perception, and opening your spiritual eyes to see what has been limiting your movement. He is exposing the subtle deceptions, the internal agreements, the emotional attachments, and the spiritual influences that have quietly drained your strength, diverted your focus, and distorted your identity. This is not exposure to shame you, it is exposure to free you. The Spirit of God is gently but firmly separating you from every person, place, mindset, and environment that cannot go with you into your next season. Some connections were never meant to journey with you into the realm of purpose you are stepping into. Some conversations, some atmospheres, some comfort zones were designed only for a chapter, not for your calling. And God, in His wisdom, is bringing an end to the chapters that no longer align with your future. He is not simply removing you, He is replanting you. He is positioning you into spiritual soil that nourishes your assignment, into relationships that strengthen your calling, into opportunities that honor your purpose, into environments that unlock your hidden potential. You are being set in a place where your destiny can breathe again, where your spirit can stretch, where your gifts can awaken, and where your voice can rise with clarity and courage. This morning is a spiritual migration. Heaven is moving you from limitation to alignment, from confusion to clarity, from survival to significance. And as you listen to this word, do not rush through it. Your spirit is standing before a divine mirror. God is showing you what He is breaking you away from, and also revealing what He is drawing you toward. He is whispering direction into the deepest parts of your heart. He is convicting you where you have settled. He is strengthening you where you feel weak. He is affirming you where you felt forgotten. He is calling you by your future, not your past. Let the Spirit highlight to you the places He is shifting, the decisions He is prompting, the alignments He is forming, and the assignments He is unlocking. There is a gentle but unmistakable pull, a holy invitation to step out of the shadows of old seasons and into the radiant clarity of God's purpose for your life. As this word unfolds, allow your heart to respond. Allow your spirit to rise. Allow the voice of God to echo in places where silence once lived. And when something touches you, when something shifts, when something awakens, when something clicks in your understanding, share it in the comments. What did God reveal? What did He free you from? What direction did He give you? Your reflection may not only confirm your own process, but it may also become the key that unlocks someone else's journey. Every destiny has battles that no amount of human wisdom, emotional strength, or strategic planning can conquer. Battles so deeply spiritual, so intricately woven into the fabric of your purpose, that only the hand of God can intervene and break them. Psalm 120 is not just a chapter you are reading. It is a prophetic announcement that heaven has heard the distress you tried to manage alone, the warfare you survived silently, and the resistance that rose against you because of the oil you carry. There are confrontations tied to your assignment that were never meant to be handled in the flesh. Voices that arose to misrepresent you, atmospheres that tried to suffocate you, unseen forces that attempted to diminish your confidence and blur your identity. But today, under the authority of this prayer, God is disrupting every dark agenda that has spoken against your rising. He is dismantling every deceptive tongue that twisted your intentions, every spiritual conspiracy that formed in hidden places, every negative word released against your progress, and every demonic influence that has tried to choke the life, vision, and boldness out of your calling. There are battles you didn't even know you were fighting, whispers in the spirit that accuse you, movements in the unseen that resisted your next level, unseen pressures that made you question your purpose. But God steps into those realms this morning with fire in His voice, declaring that enough is enough. The warfare that followed you from childhood, the patterns that repeated through your bloodline, the manipulation that sought access to your destiny, the spiritual fog that kept you from clarity, God is breaking it now. You may feel something lifting as you pray, not emotionally but spiritually, like a weight releasing from your chest, like a climate shifting around your life, like a veil being torn off your understanding. This is not imagination, this is divine intervention. Heaven is responding not only to your words, but to the cry beneath your words. Every tear, every sigh, every silent groan, every moment you wanted to speak but didn't know how, heaven gathered it. And now, God is turning your distress into deliverance, your pressure into power, your pain into prophecy. He is declaring over you that no tongue, human or spiritual, will have the authority to rewrite your destiny. No accusation will stand, no slander will prosper, no hidden resistance will prevail. Even now, God is reordering the spiritual atmosphere around your life, cleansing the path before you and restoring the confidence the enemy tried to drain from your soul. You are stepping into a realm where you no longer fight to survive. You rise to occupy. You rise to build. You rise to walk in the fullness of your assignment. This is your turning point, your spiritual shift, your confirmation that heaven has not forgotten you. As God moves through this message, as you feel the stirring within, share what he reveals to you in the comments. Your testimony, your insight, your encounter may be the very word someone else needs to break out of their own battle. This is a morning of deep spiritual recalibration, a moment where God himself reaches into the hidden layers of your heart and begins to adjust the places where pain misaligned you, where disappointment weakened you, and where the noise of life tried to drown the clarity of his voice. Psalm 120 becomes a divine compass in your spirit, pointing you back to the path heaven wrote for you before you were ever formed. God is not just comforting you, he is restructuring you, tuning your heart back to the frequency of his purpose, and restoring the sensitivity that destiny requires. Every lying voice that whispered defeat, every internal conflict that clouded your discernment, every atmosphere that corrupted your peace is being silenced right now by the authority of his word. You may not have realized it, but there were places your destiny could no longer accommodate. Places where your soul remained out of loyalty, not alignment, environments that once felt familiar but now feel suffocating because you have outgrown them. There are people your purpose can no longer carry. Connections that were once divine for a season but have now become weights, draining your strength, dimming your focus, and distracting your journey without you even noticing. And because of his love, God is interrupting this moment of your life. He is drawing a boundary your emotions may never have drawn, separating you from voices and atmospheres that muted the greatness within you. He is shifting you into a new spiritual climate, one that supports your growth, one that honors your calling, one that fuels your destiny instead of fighting it. This new atmosphere is not just a place, it is a realm of clarity, peace, boldness, and divine alignment. It is where your discernment sharpens, where your confidence rises, where your spiritual senses awaken, and where the weight of his presence becomes your greatest anchor. God is recalibrating your heart so you stop investing in what no longer carries his grace. He is recalibrating your mind so you stop interpreting your identity through the lens of your old battles. He is recalibrating your spirit so you can walk with the strength required for the next dimension he is calling you into. This is why certain doors closed abruptly, why certain relationships grew silent, why certain cycles stopped making sense. Heaven has shifted you even before you realize you are being moved, and now your spirit is catching up to the transition God has already begun. The confusion you felt was not weakness, it was your soul adjusting to a new season. The restlessness was not a sign of instability, it was God pulling you away from the places that were draining your purpose. The sudden clarity you now feel is evidence that God has been preparing you for this recalibration long before this morning arrived. In this moment, let the Spirit of God highlight what he is healing in you. Old wounds that shaped your reactions, internal battles that shaped your decisions, memories that held you captive to emotional patterns you never recognized. Let him show you what he is adjusting. Your pace, your priorities, your relationships, your expectations, your spiritual posture. Let him reveal what he is awakening. Your hunger for him, your passion for your assignment, your discernment to recognize what carries his presence and what doesn't. Do not resist this divine shifting. Your destiny depends on your willingness to let go of what is behind you so you can embrace what is before you. God is preparing you for a future too weighty for casual connections, too holy for divided loyalties, too glorious for compromised environments. You are transitioning into a realm where your purpose takes precedence over your feelings, where your destiny grows louder than your distractions, where your spirit becomes stronger than your fears. Receive this moment as heaven's personal intervention in your life. And as this truth settles deeply within you, I invite you to share in the comments what God is adjusting, healing, convicting, or awakening in your spirit. Your reflection may not only solidify your own transformation, it may become the breakthrough someone else has been waiting for. Psalm 120 is a prophetic reminder that your cry is not wasted, your tears are not forgotten, and your pain has never been ignored by the one who called you. Heaven has archived every whisper of your heart, every silent breaking that no one saw, every night you cried yet still woke up determined to believe again. Your cry has value before God, not as a sign of weakness, but as a divine signal that unlocks movement in the realm of the spirit. When you cried out, you were not just expressing pain, you were activating prophecy. You are calling heaven into your situation, summoning divine intervention into battles that outran your strength. God is now taking the very things that wounded you, the misunderstandings that crushed you, the betrayals that shook you, the hidden tears that soaked your pillow, and He is transforming them into a pathway that leads you into purpose. Nothing you suffered was wasted. Nothing you endured was meaningless. What you walked through in the dark is becoming the raw material for the greatness He planted inside you. Every attack that came against you was not only an attempt to break you, it was an attempt to silence the destiny that threatens darkness. Every misunderstanding that bruised your heart was shaping humility, depth, and compassion that your assignment will one day require. Every hidden tear became a seed, yes, a supernatural seed, watering the soil of your calling, fertilizing the unseen parts of your spirit, strengthening what was weak, deepening what was shallow, and preparing you for a version of yourself you could not yet imagine. This is the morning where heaven begins to turn what once felt heavy into something holy. God is turning your cry into movement, movement in your spirit, movement in your understanding, movement in your destiny. You will no longer remain where pain froze you, where disappointment held you, where confusion delayed you. The very places where you felt stuck are now becoming launching pads into your next season. God is turning your confusion into direction. He is taking the questions that tormented your mind and transforming them into answers that guide your steps. What seemed unclear will suddenly make sense. The patterns you could not understand will reveal their purpose. The delays you hated will show their wisdom, and the battles you resented will expose the strength they quietly built in you. Your frustration, those moments where you felt trapped, misunderstood, overlooked, or forgotten, is being turned into destiny. God never wastes frustration. He uses it to push you out of environments that cannot hold your future. Frustration is often the final signal that a season has expired and heaven is calling you higher. What you thought was the enemy working against you was often God shifting you. The things that broke you were not sent to destroy you, they were sent to shape you. The moments that made you cry were actually moments where heaven was rewriting your story. This morning, God Himself is stepping into your journey with clarity, with direction, with healing, and with a prophetic push that breaks you out of the old version of yourself and ushers you into the one He designed. He is saying to you, I saw it all, I carried you through it, and now I will use it for my glory. Your story is being redeemed. Your pain is being repurposed. Your tears are being translated into strength. Your warfare is becoming testimony. This is not just encouragement, it is a divine shift. As you sit under this word, let God show you what He was doing behind your tears, what He was building through your battles, what He was protecting in your silence, and what He is awakening in your spirit right now. And as this truth meets your journey, I invite you to share in the comments what part of this word speaks directly to your heart, because your reflection may be the very confirmation someone else has been praying for. There is a divine call rising from Psalm 120, a call so clear, so compelling, and so spiritually urgent that it refuses to let you remain where life has weakened you. God is summoning you out of every place that quietly drained your strength, dimmed your discernment, and diluted your identity. This is not an ordinary shift. This is heaven announcing migration. You are being pulled out of emotional climates that poisoned your peace, environments that restricted your growth, conversations that limited your vision, and relationships that suffocated your purpose. God is awakening a sharper discernment within you, not the kind that reacts from pain, but the kind birthed from revelation. Your spiritual sensitivity is rising. You are beginning to see what you once tolerated, discern what you once ignored, and recognize what you once excused. This awakening is not random, it's prophetic. God is opening your eyes to the difference between what comforts you and what carries you, what feels familiar and what feeds your destiny. He is giving you the boldness to choose purpose over comfort, alignment over attachment, assignment over approval. This prayer is not just for your mourning, it is for your becoming. God is not merely lifting you, He is repositioning you. He is breaking the emotional agreements that kept you tied to old seasons, exposing the spiritual atmospheres that fought your progress, and burning the ropes that held your feet in places your spirit outgrew long ago. Many of the frustrations you felt were signals, not failures. The heaviness was an indicator that you no longer belonged where you stayed. The restlessness was evidence that heaven was calling you into a new dimension, a new circle, a new environment that carries the grace required for your next level. You were never meant to remain in places where your voice is muted, your worth is questioned, your gifts are unrecognized, or your spirit is suppressed. The season of staying silent in the wrong places is over. The days of shrinking to fit old rooms, dimming to survive old cycles, and lowering your frequency to maintain old relationships have expired. God is now awakening your voice, not the voice of defense, but the voice of destiny, the voice that speaks with clarity, the voice that carries conviction, the voice that refuses to apologize for the call of God on your life. He is giving you courage to walk away without guilt, to release without fear, to step forward without hesitation. This is the hour where God confronts every inner conflict that made you second guess your purpose. The confusion that clouded you is lifting. The fog around your identity is clearing. The hesitation that slowed your obedience is breaking. God is sanctifying your environment, removing what distracts, strengthening what aligns, and guiding you toward the places your destiny can breathe again. This is more than transition, this is transformation. The version of you that survived old battles is not the version of you that will build your destiny. God is calling forth the courageous you, the discerning you, the bold you, the spiritually awakened you. You are stepping into atmospheres designed for your growth, into conversations that unlock your wisdom, into relationships that honor your calling, into environments that stretch you into maturity. You will no longer invest your strength where grace has departed. You will no longer explain yourself where your spirit is not understood. You will no longer remain where your destiny is dishonored. God is preparing a table for you in a realm where you will no longer fight to be seen. Your presence will speak for itself. Your anointing will announce itself. And your destiny will open doors that no human hand can shut. Even now, you may feel something shifting in your spirit, an inner knowing, a spiritual pull, a gentle but undeniable push from God. That is heaven confirming that you are being repositioned. And as this prophetic call unfolds in your heart, I invite you to share in the comments what God is revealing to you, where He is leading you, what He is shifting, what He is awakening. Your revelation may be the roadmap someone else needs to step into their own divine transition.